a new ship, a new building, and a reasonably decent event calendar. But let's not forget, your treasury is full. What a month. Let's grade it, shall we? I'm Admiral Pegasus, and this is the Pegasus Show. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, I'm redoing this because I originally did do the grading during the live stream, and I felt it was a little bit rushed. It wasn't properly planned out. So I thought, go back over it, add the couple of bits you missed. Yes, that I missed. And yeah, we'll do a new one. And I've revised my grade slightly as well. So, because when I actually looked more into it, yeah, okay, it was a slightly better month than I actually gave it credit for. So, let's start with the first thing that we got. And it was the brand new feature. Yes, it was that thing over there. It was the USS Defiant. Finally introduced into the game during the DS9 arc. Originally, I was not actually expecting this ship until till December. But they brought it in now, given the fact that we also had a couple of crappy months. I think it made sense that the fact that they actually brought it in this month. But, as we all know, these arcs are actually planned months and months in advance. So the chances are the Defiant was actually planned to be introduced this month. Now, this ship, for me, I haven't got yet, but there is a free-to-play path, which we will discuss just slightly. But for me, this is a bit of a lackluster starship. Now, when I was originally thinking about the Defiant idea, I was thinking anything to do with the Jem'Hadar. That is the Solo Armadas, and that is the ship dealing with the fighters themselves. Well, I was half right. It does Solo Armadas. Yes, it can either be part of your fleet, or it can run solo in Solo Armadas. But it can't do the actual Jem'Hadar ships properly. So, and yes, it's a specialty ship, which we expected. I was fully expecting it to be an interceptor. And yeah, this is what we got. Now, it is a decent ship. It has multiple ship abilities, which is brilliant. Obviously, greatly reinforces your ships against armadas based on your research. So yes, there was a pile of research added to this. It also boosts your edicts by 250% scaling per level as you level her up. Unlocks powerful buffs which grant significantly enhanced effectiveness against Jem'Hadar Solo Armadas when in combat with the Defiant. And also increases badge and credits received from a new claim chest in the Bajoran store. So that's your Defiant in quick and simple. So, now she is expensive to upgrade. I don't have screenshots of the upgrades, but I do have the level locks. Yes, I do have a screenshot of the level locks. So there you go, have a gander. There are your level locks. And that's what we got. Now, like I said, there is a free-to-play path to source this, and there it is. You will get one blueprint every 24 hours. Well, every 22 hours if you're that keen on pulling it. So at some point you can probably have 2 in one day. It's going to cost you 55 of the diplomacy tokens, so save them up. And you also get access to this chest here, which is the Defiant Amplified Claim chest. When you haven't got the Defiant, you immediately get a boost with some credits and some badges in your Bajoran store. Now, obviously, as you upgrade it, as you get your Defiant and you tier it up, those bonuses do get better, topping out at 400 badges and 400 credits at tier 12. Sadly, though, that's not for us lower level players. That's for a level 55 player at tier 12. Me at level 42, the most I can hope to get it up to is tier 5. Yeah, that is it, tier 5. Maybe tier 4, but unfortunately, I put that screenshot in. in editing, not actually during the video. Because obviously I can't put screenshots in during videos, which is a pain in the rear. But that's the Defiant. Now, like I said, she does have some research, so we'll just quickly touch on that. And this is another reason why I felt I rushed my grading during the live stream. It's in your Starship Tree, and here it is. There are 2 lines to this research. The top one is your solo armadas. So this is the Defiant against solo armadas, whether it's part of the actual fleet against armadas or it's actually on fighting itself. It does cost a new currency, subspace transceivers. Yay, more currencies! Gotta love more currencies. And yeah, it's reasonable. It'll top, this one will top out 460% buff, increase of damage against armadas. Now, the bottom line is against the group armadas like faction armadas, swarm, isogen, Cardis. You know, you get the picture. Again, it costs those transceivers, but this is actually for buffing the fleet. Now, you can either use it against that armada, or you can use it just to buff your players in your armada. Now, I don't know the full costs on everything like that. You check out No One Shall, Ultimate DJ, Rev Juice. They've done videos on the Defiant, and I'm sure they'll got some more specifics than I have. So that's a Defiant, a brilliant addition to the game, but again, like I said, a bit lackluster. Hopefully they might consider sticking that ability in eventually at some point, maybe somewhere down the line, where it can actually go take on the Jem'Hadar fighters, and it'll become an effective ship against all Jem'Hadar. As we remember from canon, the ship was originally built to fight the Borg. In Star Trek First Contact, it was no use, no bloody ornament. In fact, it was left adrift after the Borg ship was destroyed. And it actually really came into its own when it was pitched up against the Jem'Hadar. So, and the Klingons. It was actually a fairly decent ship against the Klingons. So, during the Federation Klingon War. But that be it may. So that's a Defiant. Like I said, there is a free to play path. One blueprint per day, and it will take you around about 100 days to complete. Now, there are additional blueprints in some missions, just the 3. So it does really alleviate the grind a little bit. Whether the blueprints for the Defiant is going to be also placed in the event store, which I think is coming next month, we can only wait and see. So that's your Defiant. Upgrade costs, though, I will just quickly say, are not cheap. Because you're going to need more things. Yes, you're going to need some ablative armor stuff and some plasma stuff. And yeah, it's going to get expensive to upgrade. But anyway, I've got a screenshot. There you go. That's the costs. It's incomplete because obviously they're still waiting to try and get it fully completed. Big shout out to Jules Verne there, who actually put all that together as well. So that's it. Now, I'll leave that up for you to digest while I go over this next bit. Is the event calendar. I don't have a screenshot of the calendar because I've not actually seen Scopely's event calendar. I've seen what everyone else has done, but I don't want to put theirs because a lot of it is quite detailed and it can be difficult to read. You really do need to zoom in on a lot of it, but it was a lot better. Wasn't perfect. There were a couple of events I wasn't happy with. In fact, one of them is going on right now, which was this. This was chucked in, and I don't think it was originally part of the event structure. I think this was just a throw-in, but it's a Heroic Syndicate Advancement. It's a 2-day event, and there's your bottom milestone. Now, yes, it is heroic. I will admit that. It is heroic. But the problem is, in 2 days, most players cannot even reach that bottom milestone. I can't. I get 300 syndicate per day out of my syndicate pull. That's 600. That's 600. And now, because I've got Prophet's prize, or Prophet's gift, sorry, from the Bajoran tree, that's an extra 500 per day. So that's 1,600 I get per day. 9,000 points that I'm on so far. 5 points each. There's no way in hell in 2 days with everything that I can get in game, including the multiphasics, I can't get it. I don't have access to the Mantis, so that's another no-go. So while there are varying sources to get it, fair dues. Now, in my opinion, these heroic SMSs, yes, should not be completed by free-to-play players. You should not be able to do that top milestone. But if anything, you should definitely be able to get that first milestone. Maybe the second, push, maybe the third. The top one, absolutely not. Not unless you've actually been really saving up. And speaking of saving up, go back out of the station, is the Weyoun event that we had. Yes, we had a recruit Weyoun event. It was a bit of a... It was a heroic. So yes, again, free-to-play players, unless you've really been saving up, shouldn't be able to complete it. But with a total of 4 million points that you needed, that is a total of 40,000 materials. Uncommon materials. 40,000 uncommon materials. I don't have that. I can't save that much up. I've got stuff to do. What makes Scopely think most free-to-play players can save up that much materials when they've got stuff to do? Research, ships, buildings, all need it. Yes. So it was a bit of a lackluster. But to make it worse, it was ran 3 times. So not only did you need 40,000, you needed 120,000. And that's just the Ops 42. Some players, high levels, were needing a lot more than that. Players below me obviously needing a little less. But again, it was still on par. They were struggling to do it. The most I managed to get the second milestone in the first one. Didn't do the second one. Third one, got the third milestone. So, yeah, not too... It's a good idea. It's a fantastic idea, but the one thing is the point scoring was way too high. Way too high. But it is heroic. Cannot argue with that. So it kind of makes sense that, yes, 40,000 should probably be a help. Maybe bring it down by half, at least down to 20,000. Because I guarantee it's very rare I've got 20,000 materials. Yeah. But anyway, so that was the Weyoun event. And then also we had the events for acquiring one of our officers this month, one of the rare officers, the Breen Pon, and obviously there was bits in the battle pass for him, and obviously various events where you could also gain shards, and he was also in a couple of missions as well. So you had your chance to unlock him. So the battle pass, obviously, same old goodies. There's they threw in some stuff towards the Bajoran faction store as well, so that was also good. Right, next up is the missions. Like I said, as part of the missions, you had 3 blueprints towards the new ship, the USS Defiant. You also had a specific set of mission for the Defiant. It didn't last very long, but you still got a blueprint, which was actually pretty good. Also, the core missions had you retaking Deep Space Nine, but Cisco had to try and rally some help, and I think, if I remember correctly, I did the missions really early on, and this is one thing I should have written down, really. But again, it shows the fact I don't do the job properly, and I should really do the job properly. But they retook Deep Space Nine, but they needed help. But they were crapped on from a great height because they enlisted the help of the Breen. Yes, so they're crapped on from a great height. And if you remember the Deep Space Nine episode where Garak and Worf were in the Dominion internment camp just before the Dominion War broke out, the Romulan in there said, "My people have a saying, never turn your back on a Breen." Well, that's the one thing that we seem to forget in the missions. By the way, the missions weren't too bad. They're leading on. I'm hoping for something... a really good conclusion next month. Now, officers this month. We had the Explorer Strike Team. Yes. And we'll quickly show you the officer that we had on the path. There we go. I've unlocked him. I've not ran him on anything yet, because basically he is a PvP officer. And the downside is we didn't get incursions this month because those so-called diplomats decided it would be fun to have a break for Christmas? Since when in war do you break for Christmas? But anyway, officer ability decreases opponent's critical chance by 52% at the start of each round, which will last for 3 rounds when it is on an explorer. So that's your Enterprise, Centaurian, your Kolinar, your Burrell. Yeah, you get the picture. And is with morale. So there is an officer who starts morale as part of this in the form of the Epic. A 52% chance of reducing the critical chance by 52% basically negates your opponent from actually having critical chances. So, but it lasts 3 rounds, which is pretty good. So if one of those rounds ended up pocking a critical hit, at least then you can, they're not going to pock it. But obviously, it's only a chance. It's not permanent. And obviously, it relies on morale. Captain's ability has a 10% chance to start combat to delay opponent's weapons for 3 rounds when on an explorer, hence the ships I've just mentioned. So this is to me, this is actually a fairly decent ability. However, it's 10%. It's RNG based. It doesn't need morale to proc or anything, so that's a bonus for this officer. It seems like a good ability going up against probably some of those bigger ships. If it actually procs, getting that first 3 rounds, or at least the 3 rounds early on, to attack your opponent and do some damage against them will give you a pretty decent chance of actually beating some higher level players. So, but that's the name of the game when it comes to Strike Team, is punching high and hard. So now, he's a partner in crime for the Strike Teams was Ikatikat, a Jem'Hadar soldier bred and created to fight and serve the Dominion. Victory is life, as they like to say. But anyway, increases weapon damage by 53% at the start of each round with morale and on an explorer. Again, it is based on RNG because you need to make sure that morale procs. It does last 3 rounds, which is a common theme for the explorer Strike Team set. So, increases weapon damage. Yeah, okay, fair dues, not too bad. I don't know if that's base or with research stacked on top. I'm kind of hoping it is the latter. But again, I haven't unlocked him yet. I'm 13 shards short. So, yeah. Captain's ability increases mitigation by 20% for 1 round. Every round when fighting players and on an explorer. So that's basically like your piercing stats and things like that. So it basically means that whenever an enemy fires at you, you've got a 20% chance, reducing their mitigation stats by 20, increasing your mitigation stats by 20%. So basically it means the chance that you might go above 71.6% or whatever the top mitigation is. So, but it will only last for 1 round. So bear that in mind. So it could be around when they fire the kinetic weapon. So like up against a Saladin. 20% increase in mitigation stats against that big gun in that first round. Yeah, not too bad. Against your pylon, when that fires its big guns, yeah, okay. The more chance of deflecting more, that, yeah, less damage to the hull. So you get the picture. Now, the Epic was in the events, and that's Sway Yoon. As you can see, I managed to get a total of 51 shards this month. Woohoo! Not too bad. Not the best, but I suppose it's something at the end of the day. And obviously, he's your officer, who ideally you would actually have as the captain of this set. Officer's ability increases weapon shots by 76% at the start of each round for 2 rounds when fighting players on an explorer with morale. So basically, he's got the chance to improve your weaponry. So, yeah, 76%. I think you're basically looking at least 2 rounds before that actually becomes effective and doubles your shots. But I don't know. I don't have the officer, so I haven't got a chance to test it. Captain's ability. Here is your morale starter. This is awesome. 20% that's the downside of this bit, 20% chance to apply morale for 8 rounds in combat against players on an explorer. So he's the one who's going to activate your morale, and it lasts for 8 rounds. Now, if you remember, the other officers had 3 rounds, but they needed morale. That's at least 3 runs. 3 potential runs of those officers' abilities actually working and being very effective against players. Again, it starts at 20%. You will need full synergy to max that out to 100%. I think it goes to 100%. So I think it's 40% either side on the big one, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so that's your officers. Are they decent? I don't really know. Not bad. Their abilities seem pretty good. Now, whether it's going to be stronger than, say... Oh, no, not her. Strike Team Una or the Cardassian ones, I do not know. Now, there was the... back in the events, there was the event of the XSLB, which ran with the Weigh-In event on runs 2 and 3, where you had the chance to get Dukat, or, better yet, boom, there you go, screenshot. The entire Interceptor Strike Team fleet, officers. So... But again, it was an XSLB. Yeah. So as you can see, I've got 42 for Garrick, for Dukat. And the other 2, I'm pretty close to unlocking Garrick. And Damar, I'm about 12 shards short. Just the way it goes, unfortunately. So, right. So that's the officers. Now, Mid-Arc. We had a slight Mid-Arc update. Well, it was actually about a week later. Where we was introduced to... this, yes, the Armory. Now, this is a new brilliant addition to the game, which, as you can see on the far side there, increases a lot of stats. Your health, your whole health, your shield health, and your mitigation stats. So it's a nice little boost. For, as you can see, mine's at 70% already for level 14. It's ready to go to level 15, but I haven't got a building slot for it yet. Unfortunately, that's about a few weeks away, but it gives me a chance to build up some of these new more currency, the new Nadions, to actually build up this building in quick concession and get it up to a higher level. So basically, the description is to unlocks active abilities and also gives some mitigation boosts. So, and then also you're going to get a bunch of upgrading the armory to certain levels grant enough refit shards to fully unlock refits for specific ships. And those are the specific ships over there, and they are all uncommon ships. So when you get there, you can access those abilities for those ships. Now, it is abilities, and it's in your refits tab, which you can access through your ship management screen, your hangar. Hence the reason all 4. But these are all the ship abilities. As you can see, all these green ones, these will all become available to you when you hit those ships' necessary levels with the armory. So for doing the Relentless Assault for the Payflower, you need it to be level 26. For the Saladin, 28. So there you go. And then also you got some more abilities here when it comes to the rares. And you've also got epics. Now, as well, you're going to get the war shields for both the Horizon and the North Star. At the minute, I don't know how to source them other than the pay store. That's the only sourcing I see. And this is the biggest letdown for me, because I could potentially look at going for this particular one to put on my Horizons. I'd love to do that. Mining, gas, plonk that on for a quick run. But the one thing is as well, and I will say this as a bonus to this, if you go over into your gifts tab, I'm sure you've seen it by now, is, I'll put it over my head, Orb Splinters. Yes, we're actually going to get a small trickle of 350 splinters every week. Yes, it is a week long. Sadly, as you can see, I've got 6 days, 3 hours till I can pull it. So yesterday I pulled this one. Your maximum capacity obviously is 700, but I don't know the cost of actually starting these war shields. So, but it's good to have that there ready. So that's going to give me a chance to build up a load before the next incursions. So that's the armory. Very good addition. Yeah, sourcing. Well, they could have announced how they're going to source it. I mean, is is the Let me just have a quick look if it'll load. So Defiant, Amalgam, Wayun, Jellyfish. Okay, so by the looks of it, they are. Oh, they got the North Star pack in at least. No, they've actually taken it down. So obviously it was only a limited time that you could do it. So how you can source them now, I really do not know. So that is a big letdown for me. But hey ho. Right, next up. Yes, we all remember this one, don't we? Your treasury is full. The banner. I tell you what, just for reminders, there you go. There's the banner coming up, taken from a screenshot, of course. Constantly telling us that our treasury was full. This was completely unintended for this to keep popping up every 5 seconds. So Scopely did what Scopely could only do about this. They gave us a compo chest, and it wasn't a small compo chest. I mean, this was the biggest problem I saw for this month. I did have a default error 5. If you check out, I can't remember which video it is actually, but it was a recent one around the time we were having this problem. A default error 5 that kept popping up and ruining my game, and I think that was something to do with it, part of this problem as well. But I got to give Scopely where credit is due on this one. They went above and beyond. They did not have to do it this good, but they did set that now precedence really high. And obviously, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about by now. Is obviously, if you look there, Limit 1 December Elite Reward Pack, that's now available for getting December £90 or $100. But what Scopely actually did is right there, the November one. They gave us the November pack. Yes, every single player got the November pack, which I thought was a brilliant. Sorry this happened. But the one thing is, they didn't just stop there. They didn't just give us the pack. Oh, we got a takeover. They didn't just give us the pack. We get, in those packs, you get these elite chips that you can pull every day. You get 300 in a pack. So if we click on that, as you can see, you're getting 300. But Scopely actually went one better. They gave us 400. They gave us 400. Now, if you are a whale and you went and bought the November version of this, you already had those 30 days. Well, Scopely just gave you an extra 40 days on top of that, didn't they? It's a win-win all around for the players. So, and can you grumble at that? No, I can't grumble at that. And also we got 3 loyalty badges as well, which also helps things as well. So that was actually a great, that like I said, it's setting the bar pretty high. But this was a major technical problem that should never have happened. It affected a lot of players, some of them to the point where they could not even log into the game because it was affecting their medical conditions, which is a big downer. That's not one thing Scopely want. That's not one thing the players want neither. They don't want their experience ruined because of the game aggravating their medical conditions. It's not fair. I know exactly how they feel. My partner is epileptic with white light. If she sees strobe lights, she's going into her own little party in her head on the floor. Yeah, and it's not a pretty sight. So, but yeah. So I can empathise about how those players actually felt. So doing this kind of a compo, while it is saying sorry, this should never have happened and everything, and Scopely can't control how screens affect people's medical complexities. I'm trying to be diplomatic and politically correct. Please tell me if I'm failing miserably in the comment section down below. But while they can't control that, they did try to mitigate it, and as much as possible, they tried to get on top of it. They tried to find the problem. I think they finally did. It was just sucks that it wasn't a simple switch it off. It was a case of they had to issue it to the likes of Google Play, iOS and Android and all the different platforms a fix and get it implemented. It was just down to them to sort it out. So, yeah, there it is. So that's the month from the way I see it. A lot of good things came in this month, and this is why I say I have to revise what my grading says. I did originally say C, but can I, on all honesty, actually give it a C? Really? No, I can't. I can't justify it. So what am I going to give it? Well, I'm going to upgrade it. I'm going to give it a B. Okay, it wasn't perfect. There were things wrong with it. The running that heroic event 3 times, I think that was just a little bit too much. Once would have probably been fine. Maybe increase the amount of shards that you got through it and things like that. But yeah, the Syndicate event, I don't think that was even part of the Battle Pass. The part of the arc actually as a whole. But the heroic version of it was just like, it's just completely undoable for the vast majority of free-to-play players, unless you actually went and bought a Syndicate pack. So, and the chance to get Picard shards, I'm sure that would have been very tempting for a lot of players. But just to get to the first milestone, yeah. But other than that, that's it. It's a B this month. So, let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Did you actually enjoy this month? Have you gone and bought the Defiant and are you enjoying it? Or are you finding it a big fat lemon at current? There's only one way you can let me know, and that's in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to come and join the Discord as well. I do have the link in the channel's description. So, that's it for the show today. Yes, grading B. What we're going to get next month? Well, we've got the conclusion coming to the spy saga, espionage and everything. So, who's he going to be? Is he going to be Kira or is he going to be Miles? To be honest with you, I don't actually know. I'm not even 100% sure. I was splitting across all 3. So, and then Cisco left. So that was a big waste, wasn't it? But anyway, that's kind of how it goes. Maybe this espionage thing shouldn't be going on for about 4 months. 1 month should have been more than sufficient for it. They could have done it as a big thing for the last month. Christmas is coming up. So, but anyway, I'm Admiral Pegasus, and this has been the Pegasus Show. Stay safe, and live long and prosper. Goodbye.